What's up, boys? Today we're checking out the God-Forsaken demo, another Diablo-inspired bullet heaven, which is basically its own genre at this point. I think only the Barbarian is available right now, but we have pretty obviously the Assassin, the Paladin, the Sorceress, the Necromancer, and I guess the Amazon, so I mean they're kind of just ripping everything there. There are a bunch of different weapon types you can get which actually modify which basic attack you'll have. With the starting weapons, we just have Bash, which is a pretty fast attacking thing with a chance to knock back. There's a sanity mechanic in the game where when it becomes nighttime, you'll actually lose that over time. You have to swap to the torch thing to kind of keep that up, which will actually change your basic attack into like a flaming but slower attack. I don't know the exact mechanics on it, and it also words stuff in a pretty weird way, so this is critical damage. Let's go for the luck, since that will improve my chance of getting higher rarity stuff here, and also getting new gear. And then I think we get +1 strength every level as well, which is a small % physical damage and a bit of HP. Dex is pretty fun, that's movement and attack speed, and Int is elemental damage and shield recovery. I think you need to find some actual sources of energy shield for that to actually do anything. Or we might actually have 10 right now. So these are our skills. These are all actual casted skills with a cooldown time. There's a lot of proc-based stuff that triggers on your attack as well, but a low cooldown stunning attack sounds pretty good to me. So this is physical damage, block rate, HP. We could try a full physical build here, that sounds good, with the rare there and the starting skill we got already. So a bunch of different stats, ints, and some XP shields. I think I like the global stats. I don't know the exact mechanics on sanity. It says psychological endurance, max mental load the character can bear when facing indescribable situations. As far as I can tell, it makes enemies spawn a lot faster when it gets really low. So this will give us temporary damage and attack speed, last 5 seconds. This is a freezing normal skill, also has a bit of physical. Actually, that sounds pretty good. Physical, frost hybrid, freeze on hits. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab that. So we'll be doing a bit of a caster build with a lot of different crowd control stuff. So I think this is just our basic attack. It does have some knockback built into it though. Luck and pickup range early on sounds pretty nice though. I think I'm going to grab that. I don't know what that graphic is, I haven't seen that before. Let's go check that out real quick. More luck, sure. Holy well, I'm guessing that's healing. Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't be able to use that when you're already at 100%. Using dash, chance to release a frost nova. Normal attack with a probability of releasing heavy swords. I think I'm going to level up the earth hammer and see if we can find another skill that will fit the caster build here. I think we only have 4 skill slots. Or it might be 4 extra. So a bunch of global stats. Physical, that's actually pretty good for us here. Yeah, I think that's good. We have our first elite speed aura, so we'll want to try and kill him quickly so he doesn't buff up the nearby enemies too much. physical and LE, movement speed, mobility, and reaction speed. I think that's actually just movement speed. I don't think there's any actual mobility or reaction speed things in the game currently, but we'll probably take the blue that works on almost everything. There is a fairly basic talent tree. I think you can max it out with something like 10 to 15 points currently. I only have 2 points, but there is some pretty interesting stuff on there. Cooldown by 10% and some damage. Oh, here's a physical skill. We could go ahead and lock that in. This is a proc skill, so it won't really fit the build we're doing here, but I think that does. We'll go ahead and lock that in. So there is actually some cool stuff on the talent tree. There's a chance to trigger one of your skills whenever you crit with a basic attack, I think. You can automatically cast some Warcry skills based on a certain trigger, so you can get higher uptime on the buffs provided by those. And then I forget the other stuff, but I'm nowhere close to unlocking anything over there yet. 10% XP, Enton XP. I think I would take the raw XP over that for this build. So the weird wording is just so strange. It would be so easy to fix that. So it's 4 frost, fire, lightning, and chaos damage. So we have a small amount of frost that's not actually that great. I think I'd rather have the physical percentage here. And then we have runes for one of our skills. We can only put these onto one of them. I think you can also modify the basic attack. So projectile speed, I don't think that does a ton. Chaos resistance definitely doesn't do anything. As far as I've seen, there isn't even any chaos damage in the game right now. Chance of stun on hit sounds cool. So that would be good on either the bash or the bladestorm, I think. Let's go ahead and try that out on the basic attack. +1 blade quantity and damage looks pretty good. Do we have an extra slot? It looks like it. We'll wait a little bit more because this is another attack proc based thing. Although stun and physical. Let's try it. Mega CC physical build. Intelligence XP. What is my base region? 2. So I don't think that's too important. We'll take the extra XP, a little bit of intelligence and shield region stuff for the handful of things we have for that. And I think the AC 10 is my shields. So block rate, strength, dex sounds good. Increases our physical. Yeah, I don't know why it says AC, but we do seem to have 10 shield by default. Skill cooldown, skill evolution, cooldown reduced by 20%. Okay, that looks pretty good. No longer dash, gain a massive damage reduction for a short time. That's actually pretty interesting, although 20%. So I guess whenever you try to dash, it has a 20% of triggering? That doesn't sound very good. If it was every dash, then that would actually be interesting because you could sort of pre-buff it right before a big attack came in and just mitigate the damage a ton. Ooh, epic dexterity. Lots of movement and attack speed, sure. This is actually a really bad spot to have the boss fight start, actually. We have a big rock over there cutting off a huge portion of the arena. Might be bad. Physical damage. Yeah, I think so. Bash inflicts weaken on targets for the smite. Earthhammer 50% stun duration, that sounds pretty nice. But Bash is the name of that. Does it affect my basic attack or the skill itself? There's no bash in that, right? I think I'm just gonna grab the Earth Hammer upgrade there. Damage, strength, int, 0.4. So that's melee critical hit rate, it sounds like? Or all damage? They really need to fix that. I think I'm just gonna grab the epic, it sounds pretty good. Then I think we can swap some items, but I don't think we can swap the weapons in the middle of the run. Fire damage, oh that's chaos damage. I don't have an amulet yet, so that's some sort of frost damage thing, which might work on the frost hammer, not sure. Probably attack speed. Bash inflicts weaken. So we would have to replace something to grab that. I think the +1 blade on bladestorm actually sounds pretty good. I don't know how many it has by default, but it seems like a pretty strong skill. Dash through the wall there. I wouldn't mind a bit of armor and HP to help out here. It seems like it's kind of hard to avoid everything with the huge rocks over there combined with some ranged enemies on top of this boss guy. And then some walls you have to dash through on top of that. Physical damage, movement. Yeah, I guess we'll keep going into that. So we need to dash up for this wall. Blade hits, chance to fire a blade projectile at the enemy. Oh, that sounds cool with the extra blades we have on it. So we're actually losing sanity now, and I'll probably need to swap to the torch to prevent that, even though it will give me a weaker basic attack for now since we're built into physical. But we don't want to get overwhelmed while the boss is out. 40% pickup range, sure. There's actually stats on the torches themselves, so this one is burns for 5 minutes and illumination range 100. I've seen a few of them in the shop in the town, but so far they've all been an exact copy of that, so I'm not sure if you can get like a randomly spawned torch with like better duration or illumination or anything. XP it looks like. Sure. Actually, let's swap back to the axes and try and finish this guy off now that we're high on sanity again. So skill cooldown 10%, range 20%. Ooh, blade duration. That sounds cool with the evolution we just got for that. HP... I don't know what HP per is. 10 strength. Can we look that up on the character screen? What is HP per? Is it health points per second? I don't know. It looks like it's probably something related to region, but not that exact stats. 10% crit chance against bleeding enemies. I haven't seen any way to even apply bleed yet. Elemental skills grant buffs and inflict debuffs for 2 seconds longer. So, actually, that could work with the bladestorm as well. We could put that on the frost hammer. It sounds interesting on the bladestorm because that will cause it to rotate faster and then proc that one effect more. So I'm down to try that over there. 8% crit, 10% XP. I'm not sure how much longer we can go. We should probably start transitioning more into damage so that we can just push the run as far as possible now. See if there's any item upgrades we've gotten. Dash range 36. I think that's movement speed, which I prefer. That is chaos damage, which is useless. Can't equip that. Shield max. I think I'd rather have the shield, so nothing there, I think. So we actually need to swap to the torch here. He's actually saying something about that. Blade attack crits, 20% chance of fire, 1 new blade. Ooh, that sounds really cool. Okay. I wonder if going for like a fire focus build is just better because you have to swap to the torch so much later on. So cooldown time is actually quite good since we're a caster build here. I definitely want some of that. Looks like I don't even have room for items anymore. I actually don't know if you could drop them. Okay, you have to like press shift. You have to press shift and then I don't know, it's weird. How do you drop items? Okay, you press shift, and then you click it, and then you drag it out. I don't understand why you can't just drag it out of the inventory without having to press a modifier key. So we got a legendary regional skill range. I think it means general, and it's kind of off on the translation there, but that should work on most of our casted skills, I think. Like all of these, other than the bash, since that's tagged as melee. Yeah, I think it should work on most of those. Bash inflicts weaken, 10% cooldown. I think we are pretty heavily into the caster stuff now, so I'm gonna take the level there. If I see any skills I really want, we actually can replace the smite skill with one of them. Physical LE, projectile skill percentage increase. Not sure if that's super helpful here, probably just gonna grab that. I think the bladestorm is a projectile, so it might work on that. Cooldown, strength, dex. It's not the greatest stat for me since it's attack speed, but that is quite a bit of it. Earth Shatter creates an additional shockwave, paralyzing targets and dealing physical damage. Sounds pretty good. Oh, Thor's hammer is physical and lightning. That might actually be pretty good for the smites. But for now, I think we're taking the evolution with some extra crowd control there for one of our primary abilities. 8 strength, that's not bad since it's physical and health. I think we'll probably just take the strength here. I don't really want to go super greedy on the XP. We already have a bunch into that. And it's kind of hard to actually hit anything here with all of the ranged enemies right now. Definitely like to have some more damage for when we can hits. So Bash inflicts weaken, smite. Giant tornado that deals frost damage to enemies. I guess we kind of have to take one of the smite levels. I'm curious if replacing that will actually keep the level it's currently at, so I'm going to take the level 2 over the skill evolution, in case we get the opportunity to test that later on. Oh, we actually stunned the wall. Okay. I didn't even know you could do that. So we aren't really using the shield-based stuff, so I don't think that's all that great for the current build. 8% crit is decent though. Int and XP, not the greatest. I think I'm gonna take the HP region here. So skill evolution, sun time on the earth hammer. I think I like that. And then I guess really we just want to hit as many enemies as possible with the bladestorm to try and get the free blade procs whenever that hits. Shield max, HP region, I think we just keep going there. Decent percentage armor, bit of thorns, or bit of luck. That's kind of into the greed line. I think we'll just take that for some extra survivability. Range, cooldown on bladestorm, that's very good. Yeah, let's go there with all the upgrades we have for that. Purple physical damage, yup. That freeze lasts so long, my god. Blue HP, I guess that's fine. Giant lightning bolt that continuously tracks and attacks enemies dealing lightning damage. I don't think I've seen that a whole lot. These actually aren't very good for me anyways. Dash distance leaves a trail of fire on the ground. 50% distance. Not really in love with any of these. Probably just gonna skip that, I think. Do we get one of these when you skip that? That's actually kind of nice that you do. Take the physical damage there. Skills hit reduce lightning resistance, that's useless to me. Projectile speed, that could be fun. Area skills 30%. So that works on these two. I kind of like just getting insane projectile speed on the bladestorm though. We've kind of been focusing that one pretty hard. So a bunch of elemental damage. I think we just take the global skill range here. A lot of enemies are still at 100 sanity, so I don't know what I can do about this. Jesus. Luck, gold fine, bunch of stats. I think I like that. Physical damage is decent. I guess that's probably a lot more damage, actually. Oh, I don't think I've seen a dagger before. Probably grab the cooldown reduction on Earth Hammer here. Oh, we are losing sanity now. I guess we'll talk this torch on for a bit. I'm actually losing sanity even with that on, huh? Well, guess we may as well just try and do as much damage as possible with the axes then. Purple armor, sure. bleeds. I don't have any way to trigger that though. I guess we can remove that. And then take some physical damage. Yeah, don't treat him like a donkey. Oh, I would like to get the bow to try out an archery build as well. See if we can make some room for that. So that has the death cleave skill. I don't have anything with that yet. Oh, I do have a bow already. Multiple arrows. What does dagger have? Slash. What? A dagger gives you an attack that wields a longsword with superb skill. Okay. Interesting. So we don't really need a bow then. It's also a hunting bow. Oh, rings. Reroll lock or cold times. So cold times is actually the banish thing, I think. That'll probably help us find some more stuff. Why is it going over there? Why can't I equip a second ring? I guess you can only have one ring, sick. So that's chaos damage, don't care. 9% speed. Whoa, sick upgrade. I guess we can just sell the stuff I don't really care about. Strength plus 3. Ooh, 1 HP regen, that's decent actually. Smite evolution. Oh! So there's a bleeding skill, but I think it's too late for that. What does bleeding even do? I can't tell. I guess we could actually put that onto the smite and see what happens, since I'm curious about that. Okay, so it does not keep the skill level. But we do have another physical casted skill at least. Although I did already ban the bleed thing, since I didn't remember seeing anything with that before. I mean, the fire isn't doing anything. I'm still losing sanity even with that equipped. So I don't know why I would lower my damage right now. I guess what we can do is try to run around the map and see if there's any like actual sources of fire on it. I think we're going to die soon anyways, so it might be kind of interesting to see if there's anything related to that. Oh, it looks like there's a night timer over there. But yeah, there's so many enemies now with this low sanity, so I think we are probably screwed. What is AC per? I guess we can grab that for some attack speed. But what the heck is AC per? Don't remember any sort of accuracy stats. So I guess if there's any high dodge monsters that would help with that. I didn't even know there was an accuracy mechanic in the game, to be honest. Oh, I wonder if you're supposed to keep the torch equipped to, like, slow down the sanity loss, and then you're just supposed to outlast the nighttime. I might have been doing this completely wrong. Oh, I'm out of torch time anyway, so I can't even do that. These are kind of junk now. I guess some luck. So that healed me, but it doesn't give any torch charges. Not super useful. And now we're just locked in here, so I can't do anything anyways. I'm frozen? That stun is extremely annoying. But yeah, I think we're going to die to the sanity mechanic soon. Projectiles return dealing damage to enemies in their path. Blade rotation radius. We may as well take that since we have so much into the bladestorm anyways. There must have been something around the map where we were able to either relight the torch and get more time on it, or some sort of campfire that would have massively improved my sanity while standing near it or something, I'm guessing. But there's no, like, tutorial or anything to learn about that. I don't know what a heart is. I would assume that's just healing. And that stun is really OP, and I can't even tell what's happening here. Bladestorm, 1.7 million. About 1 million on the Earth Hammer. The heck is all that? Oh my god, that was loud. That scared me. So we can sell all of the stuff I don't need. Keep one of those just in case they let you equip them. We can put that over there somehow, I don't know. Purple hammer with crushing blow. Cause bone fractures, reducing damage dealt by enemies. Not enough money though. Looks like it rerolls in between each run. Those torches are exactly the same, so I don't know how you're supposed to even do that. You can't equip a new torch in the middle of the run. I don't think I really even care. I just want a better torch, man. Extra damage based on strength and agility. So there's a small basic talent tree here. I didn't even get a single point off of that run, what? But there is a couple cool things. Normal attack critical hits have a chance to reset a cooling down active skill. So you can do a kind of cast on crit build there. Automatically cast a war cry every 6 seconds, so you can have pretty high uptime on the buffs from those. And then an extra shockwave when casting a war cry on top of that. But that's about it. Just the talent station, merchant, little stash you can put your stuff in. I haven't actually been over here yet. Looks like there's nothing over here anyways. What's that?
The statue solidifies the fear and despair in the catastrophe, and its twisted posture tells the pain and struggle of the living. The surf.
But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.